Right, okay, so this week I'm going to share with you a clip from a recent skidders lesson that I gave. This customer really wanted to know how to stop his out to in swing path. So I gave him some drills and some things to think about, which was about feel versus real, and to help him to try and get the club to swing on a more shallow path or inside to out path. So come on, let's go watch this. Right, so you've asked me the question about transition. Okay, so the last video I sent you was sort of partly involved with transition. It's a twofold thing. Okay, so not only do you have to move your body correctly in order to transition properly, which was in the last video. We talked about how I want you to start getting a feeling as you swing back of not unturning the shoulders too soon, okay, and getting this feeling of gliding the left hip or the hips towards the target. So it's like you're doing this sort of motion as opposed to still turning, all right? It's also the second part is your hands and arms have to shallow as well. So my hands and arms work in a shallow motion as I do that. So as I go up to here and I bump my hips this way, my hands and arms will reroute. It's as though I'm creating a loop, okay, or a big circle with my hands, all right? And it's true as if whenever I give anybody, I mean over in England as well, we don't even play baseball over here really, but if I was to give you a baseball bat, one of the things that you'd see people naturally do is hold the bat up here, all right? And then when they swing the bat back, okay, they might stand there, they'll swing back, the bat will go up even higher, all right, up to here somewhere, and then when they come in to hit it, it shallows down. So the bat will go from high to low, okay? So it goes from up to under. So he's going to go up and it's going to go under in order to meet the ball as it's coming this way, all right? It's the same as if you were, okay, future Matt here. I know this isn't technically how you swing a tennis racket and a baseball bat, but I'm a golf professional at the end of the day. But the idea and the concepts are very similar, so please bear with me and don't be too mean in the comments below. Playing tennis, all right, I'll stand there to do a forehand, my racket would go up, and then I'd come under. So it creates a loop. So at the same point, the club is going up, the club will come under. All right, it's the same thing with a golf club. The sports are all linked. All right, if I was to hold the golf club up in the air like this, go up and then come under, I'd hit the same shot. Okay, it's exactly the same movement. So sports are connected. It's a movement that you can already do without even realizing it. So as I swing the club up, it's going to go up and it's going to come under. So I'm doing this by creating a bit of a rounded action with my hands and arms. My hands and arms are doing it, not so much the club, all right? What you would never do with a baseball bat, you wouldn't stand there and go like this and then over the top to try and hit the ball. You just wouldn't do it. It wouldn't seem right to do that to try and hit a baseball bat. Same thing with a forehand with tennis. I wouldn't go like this and then down like that to play the shot, okay? I'd come up and go under. It's a natural movement, all right? And that's what you've got to learn to do. And that's one of the key things I don't see players do enough. They don't do that movement. So for you, we were going to try and get the club to go up a bit more on the backswing, get it in a good position here, and then train you to get the hands and arms to swing on what a bit more of a loopy sort of action. Think Jim Furyk. You know, Jim Furyk used to go up really, really high like this and then come back down on a totally separate line. All right, so that's really what I want to be working with you. So there's a couple of drills that you can do to do this, and that's what I'm going to try and do in the next video. But that's the feeling I want you to get, is of this circular motion, all right? And that's what we're going to try and get you to do. And that's the only way you're going to ever really shadow the club into the ball and come into the ball on the right path, which is, for you, I really would like to see it coming more from an inside line to out, as opposed to across the ball and into this sort of curtailed follow through, all right? So that's what I really want you to do. Hope you're enjoying this video. Please remember to like, subscribe and share it with your friends. It really helps me out. So it's a really simple thing that I want you to do, and you can do it without a golf club. Actually, I suggest you do it without a golf club. Don't even touch a golf club. This is all moto learning, all right? Is you're literally going to just stand there with your hands and arms out in front of you like this in your posture position, and I want you to create big circles with your hands and arms, okay? You're going to swing the club back, turn your shoulders, swing the arms back down, but you're going to create a loop. All right, and I want you to create a loop. Get a feeling though that when you're bring the arms down, is that your back is still facing the target. Okay, I don't want you turning in to face the shot at all. I want you to feel as though that as you're pulling it down to here, your back is still facing the target. As your arms reach about hip height down here, then you turn through. Okay, or you push the left leg back to turn you through, and exaggerate it. All right, I really want you to overdo it. Do that a few times and get that feeling. all right, you're really going to get that feeling of taking the club out, or your hands and arms. The club will just follow. Keep the club head outside your hands as you do it, and then I want you to loop it up and underneath, okay? You're going to really sort of go up and under, all right? Really loop it. Go from up and under, okay? You can see how my arms and hands work, going out, under, and then I push that left foot back, okay? And that's really where I'm going to step on the speed. From here, I can then push it through. So up and under, right? It's the same way as if I was holding a tennis racket and I was playing a forehand shot. I'm going to go up and under, okay? So as I'm playing a forehand shot, up and under. And that way I'm really getting that feeling of under, that I'm doing the same thing with the golf club. All right, or baseball bat. You could choose. I'm not really bothered. Okay, whatever analogy you find better. Lift the bat up and then come underneath. Okay, like I say, you would never, in a million years, take a baseball bat, swing underneath like this, and then hit down on the ball like so. You wouldn't do it. I think the common theme is that people tell you that you gotta hit down on the ball. No, you don't. You're actually trying to hit the ball from side on. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to pack it in there, not plow it down this way. All right, you're trying to come in from the side, powerhouse it that way, especially with the driver. You're trying to that way rather than plow down this way. All right, and I think that's where people get the confusion from. They misinterpret what they should be doing. All right, so that's a really good one for you to do. If you're going to do it, you've got to make sure you go up and around, big loop. Okay, now when you do this, I want you to hit it. I want you to hit a 7-iron only. I want you to hit it off a T-peg. You've got to hit off a T-peg. Why? Because you're adding in, if you don't hit a T-peg, right, there's three things that make the ball function. Club face, where this points, is going to indicate where the ball starts, okay? And the angle, or the path that the club is swung on, is going to indicate where the ball will finish, all right? And then the third one is angle of attack, so how you bring the club head into the ball. And basically, by putting on a T-peg, you're taking away the angle of attack. You're taking away that precision of while you're trying to change something and do something, you're taking away that, well, you're taking away a negative feedback, because you're going to chunk it. You're going to hit all sorts of shots when you're making a change. Everybody does, all right? Put it on a T-peg, swing it up, and just clip it off the top of the tee. We can deal with that. Once you become more proficient with the movement, then you can start taking the T-peg away, or lower it down if maybe. Set yourself goals and put it on a nice tip, tougher turf. Even if you had to go out and play that way, so be it, all right? That's really important that you learn to do that, okay? So just to recap it, do it without your hands, do it without the club. Swing the club up, turn your shoulders, get your shoulders are turned, but feel as though the arms are making a big loop, all right? I think I saw a great guy, a great video where somebody felt like they were washing a window. They had a couple of sponges, a bit wax on, wax off sort of movement up here. You know, wax on, wax off sort of movement from old Karate Kid. Do that movement. That's the sort of movement we want. Like that. It's going to feel incredibly different to what you're used to doing, because you're used to going that way. So your hands and arms are working this way instead of working this way. Okay? The arms do shallow and change. It's the arms that do it, not the club. So one of the common things we're seeing online at the moment is that, oh, you've got to shallow the club to do it. Well, my arms can still come down on a steep path, and my club still comes out on a steep path, even though I've shallowed the club to do it, okay? My hands and arms are what changes the path and shallow it. And that's the key. You've got to do it. So, but remember, still do that exercise, turning back, bumping the hips in, because it's pointless me changing the club path if my body's still going out this way, okay? If I'm still, say if I am shallowing the club and getting my arms to come on a shallow path here, but I'm still doing this, you can see how the club still wants to go out that way, all right? So the body has a big part of it. The body I really want to take out of it. I want the hands and arms to swing the club, not the body, all right? And it goes against everything you've ever heard, but you can see I get instant results. As soon as I put my body involved in the movement, the club comes out over here, and I pull the club across my body, like so. Whereas if I take the body out of it and don't turn at all, I can swing the club head on the inside line as much as I possibly like, because I've got all this room here. My body's not getting in the way. I could swing out. I can swing out 15 degrees to the right hand side if I wanted to. I could hit the ball over there. All right. My neighbours wouldn't like it, but I could do that. All right. So practice that as much as you can. It's got to become it becomes more of an instinct as opposed to a functionality of movement, all right? It becomes more that you just do it, all right? Now, about muscle memory, okay, about exaggeration, there's a thing called feel versus real. Say you're trying to take your swing from here to there, all right? I don't do it the way. You're trying to take your swing from here to there, all right? Now that might only be a minimal change, okay? So on my swing, I'm trying to take the swing from being here to there, let's say. That's a minimal change. When you're actually exaggerating it, you've got to feel as though you're going from here to there, all right? So it's exaggerated, it's doubled, okay, to what you feel. So you feel like you're doing it enough, do it more. Do it to the point, you could even do it where you feel like you're going up here and then under, yeah? Don't be afraid. It doesn't matter what you do up here, as long as you come into the ball at the right path, but over-exaggerate it. Because if you over-exaggerate it, you can then start to rein it in and say, okay, well, I don't need to go that far out anymore. I can go back to here and do it. Or I can just rein it in just a little bit more, okay? You can close that gap down. It's easy to close it down once you've made it bigger, all right? Don't try to go for incremental little changes, because it's not going to work. Exaggerate it. Feel versus real, okay? So what you feel like you're doing is not going to be real, all right? You're going to have to overdo it, really over-exaggerate it. Make it as flamboyant as you possibly can, okay? That's where the inhibitions come in. You've got to sort of push them away and really work on that feeling, all right? That's how you transition. So the club's going to, so the body creates the transition as well as the hands and the arms. The hands and the arms is what changes. So they actually go back on one line but come down on another path, but they do a loop this way as opposed to going this way, which is what we see 90% of golfers do. They're always out over the top. Ideally, you've got to get them to loop the other way, all right? And that's what we really need you to be doing, okay? Any questions on that, please let me know, and then I can answer those back for you. But that's how you transition. All right. So there we have it. This is what I call feel versus real. It was about exaggeration because this client was really struggling. He was pulling the club on the inside line here and then throwing out over the top here. So we made him do the reverse, which was go outside to inside. Obviously you don't want to be swinging too much this way because you're going to have the other problem. So hopefully that's going to help you. Hopefully you find that entertaining and okay. Please, thank you for watching again, and please remember to like, subscribe and share with your friends, and I'll catch you at the next one.